Hi there, my name's Pete, and like Sarah last week, this is my first time recording one of these daily devotionals, and I'm really pleased to have this opportunity, so thank you BCC. Today, we're beginning week 3 of Dave Smith's God's Plan for Your Wellbeing daily devotionals. You may recall on day 1, Roger describing the aspects of our well-being as 6 dials on the dashboard of our life. Last week was devoted to our physical well-being, and this week we're focusing on our emotional well-being. So as we begin, take a moment to reflect and consider where the gauge currently tends to be on your emotional dial. Is it up in the green, healthy and full area? Is it in the midway, amber, needing attention area? Or is it in the low, unhealthy or near empty area? Why not pause the video for a moment to reflect on this? Just as with the physical dimension of us and our world we explored last week, God created us with the ability to experience and express emotions. In the Bible, we see Jesus expressing a variety of emotions, including anger, sorrow, compassion, love, and that he was not afraid to express them. But through our life experiences, we may have learned to avoid or feel guilty about emotions such as fear, anger, stress, or anxiety, seeing them as bad emotions. We may even have learned to do this with positive emotions such as joy or happiness in order to protect ourselves. Incidentally, have you noticed how much more natural it is for children to laugh and be silly compared to us adults? Often because we're too busy to stop and enjoy the moment. Or is that just me? Or because it feels like circumstances are sucking the pleasure out of life, particularly the current circumstances. If we stop to consider the full range of emotions, we can see that there is a place for all of them. The so-called bad or negative emotions as well as the positive or good ones. For example, fear and anxiety are an inbuilt physiological reaction to protect us from harm when faced with potential danger. And stress is what kickstarts us into action. How many of you find sudden motivation from an impending deadline? However, when these emotions become sustained or tip over into extreme levels, that's when we start to experience problems. And this is where the connection between our emotional and physical health becomes most clear. Excess anxiety or stress can undermine our concentration and decision-making abilities. They can lower our immune system, making us more vulnerable to illnesses. They can exacerbate injury or chronic pain, and so the list goes on. So the key here is not to avoid emotions, but instead to recognise our need for a healthy balance. In this book we're working through, Dave Smith refers to one idea of a 3-to-1 ratio of positive to negative emotions. So as you consider where the gauge on your emotional dial is, why not reflect on the balance of emotions in your life? Do the negative ones outweigh the positive ones, or vice versa? And what can you do to redress, improve, or maintain the balance? Taking happiness and joy for an example, you might be interested to know that just as prolonged or excessive stress and anxiety have a negative effect on our physiology, our physical health and functioning, so laughter has a positive effect. It releases the same happy hormones as does physical exercise. In fact, quite a lot of research has been done around this, including in the area of a health promotion phenomenon called laughter yoga, which was developed by a doctor in India in the 1990s. It uses a mixture of breathing and simulated laughter exercises, and has found that simulated laughter triggers the release of the same hormones as does natural laughter. There should be some links to find out more about this in the description for this video. As this week continues, there will also be opportunity to reflect on how we make time and space to stop and be present or mindful, as well as find rest, which are also valuable for redressing the balance of our emotional gauge. I certainly haven't got these things sussed, and as I mentioned, my challenge is allowing myself time and space to enjoy the moment. However, I'm finding it's the journey of life and faith, and taking opportunities to have honest conversation with my wife and with close friends, that is enabling me to make positive change, rather than focusing on how I think I should be or expecting myself to reach complete wholeness or well-being in my life. So I'll leave these thoughts with you to ponder on today, and look forward to catching up with you, and take care. Bye for now.